Good morning to you. This is Eric Stouffer, full-time preacher at the Main Street Church of Christ in New Bern, Tennessee. I want to talk to you this morning, this balmy Friday morning here in New Bern, about a passage in 3 John. 3 John verse 11. Just to take a second to read it here, John writes, "Beloved, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. He who does good is of God, but he who does evil has not seen God." Routinely in our lives and in this world, we like to identify good people as those who are nice, polite. Certainly we identify Christians as good people as well, but we want to lump in with that a general concept of good, including those who are nice, polite, may not go to church with us, may not worship with us, may not be interested in God at all, but they're nice people. They don't get ugly publicly, and we think of society wants to think of them as good. John in this passage identifies what good is. Let's go look at it again. But what is, do not imitate what is evil, but what is good. He who does good is of God. To be of God is to be a Christian, which is to be of Christ. You have to be part of God's family to be identified as good. He who does good is of God, is what John writes. And as we let that settle in now, we've gone over that phrase a few times, it is important for us as we round out this week and head into the weekend and then come around to Lord's Day morning, Lord willing, this Sunday morning. It is important for us to remember that. To remember that to be good is to be of God. If we're not of God, He doesn't think we're good. Paul writes in Galatians 2 verse 20, "It is no longer I who lives, but Christ who lives in me." The world needs to see that. They need to see that we're of God. He wrote both in 1 Corinthians 11:1 and in Ephesians 5:1 encouragement to be imitators of both the Father and the Son. Imitate those characteristics that people emulate in the Son. Those are things that we need to be mindful of. And we need to have that in our everyday lives so that we are considered good. As we go into the rest of the week and head into the weekend, I trust you'll have a good weekend, a good, fun weekend living for Christ. Hopefully you will have a good Lord's Day morning worship, providing that He gives us that day. If He blesses us with that day, let us all assemble where we do to worship Him in spirit and in truth. Until next time, this is Eric Stouffer, preacher at Main Street Church of Christ in New Bern, Tennessee. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.